Number, fix the thing, her, fix the her, here, the camera. No one even knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes I think, man, glad nobody watches these videos, because that would have made no sense. Her. I think Missy Elliott used to say her. So I got Mr. Rogers this right now. Put on my socks. Been up since 3, doing some work that I have to do for work. And also writing a paper that I have to do for a class that I'm taking. Oh, man. So I was busy doing that. My mind was into that. Kept on looking at the time. I was thinking, oh, man, we could do yoga. You don't have time, make time. That's one thing. I'm dedicated and obligated to myself to do these videos at 5:30 every morning, 365 days. And no matter what happens, I make sure I make the time. The only thing that could prevent it is something terrible would happen, or somehow the electricity went out. That's possible. That does happen. That does happen, and it's happened. And I would just make a video and then upload it later on. So I do have a quote though. Forgot what I was doing. Let me shut this curtain. Hear that curtain? So this is number 187 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. And I was looking at quotes from Zig Ziglar. He was an American author. I think he was a businessman. And I think it was more about business, if I'm not mistaken. I know the name. I don't know much about him. I just looked at it a second ago, and he passed away in 2012. He was born in 1926. And the only reason I know 1926 is because that's when my dad was born, who has passed away as well. But I like Zig Ziglar because I like his name. No, I'm just joking. I like the fact, when I read about it, said he was an American author. And like I said yesterday, Americanizing yoga, stripping it from everything that surrounds it, and like everything, especially religion and spirituality, letting it adapt to the culture that we're in. And since we're in America, or at least I'm in America, we Americanize it. We do that with everything. Americans do that. But all cultures do that. No culture is special. All cultures adapt their religion to their culture. Just the way it is. Society and culture coexists with religion. Just the way it is. Just the way it is. It happens with Islam, Christianity, even Buddhism, all that stuff. When it enters into a culture, starts adapting to a culture, which is cool. Which is cool. Because the essence that runs through all those cultures still stays the same. So in yoga, no one has monopoly on mind and body becoming one. Not even a religion, because it threads through all the different religions. One truth, many paths. From Satchitananda. Anyways, to the quote. The quote is this: every choice you make has an end result. Zig Ziglar. Again, every choice you make has an end result. Now, that quote is true because you make a choice, something happens. Cause and effect. But that doesn't mean you have to keep on going down that path. You have that moment, like I mentioned a few days ago, in between cause and effect, where you can make a decision. You just don't react to something. You make a decision. And that's what we're doing on the yoga mat. We are realizing that every choice you make has an end result. And then when you realize that's true, on the yoga mat, you realize you have control of that. And how do you do that? Well, on the yoga mat, in a way, you empty all your thoughts. And then you watch your thoughts. And then what happens is that you realize you're not your thoughts. Meaning you can control your thoughts. You're the master of your thoughts. Meaning you can get rid of this thought, that thought, and get a collection of positive thoughts. So when you get off the yoga mat, you can go that path, and that path can be a positive path. You can make a correct choice or positive choice. Instead of being in this so-called rut of making choices that, like dominoes, just lean on each other, knock each other down to go that path. In yoga, we're saying, hey, I have the freedom to change that. And you learn you have that freedom when you realize you're the master of your thoughts. Powerful stuff, man. Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar did say all that. I said all that. He just got me thinking. I don't even know if he said that quote. Not said it, but it doesn't matter because the essence of the quote. Somebody put that together. Let's say it's not his, because we all share the same existence, the same language. So most likely he said something like that. And I'm expanding on it because there's truth in that quote. So today, we're going to do 2 slow sun salutations. And we're just going to focus 100% on the breathing. That allows the sun salutations to become a form of a moving meditation because it heightens your awareness. When you're focused on one thing, in this case, the breathing, watching yourself breathe, realizing you're breathing automatically, you're just going to watch it. And then you move through the sun salutations, and the sun salutations become a form of a moving meditation. You move through them, and then when you get off the yoga mat, this is why I love yoga, you're still moving throughout your day, and your day becomes a moving meditation. And you're learning that on the mat. So let's go ahead and begin. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent. Hips are tilted. No tension in the arms or the shoulders. And you're finding that spot where the skeleton just stands. So you pull yourself up, and then you let the bones sit on top of each other as if you were just your skeleton. And again, the stability here is not that you're standing firm. That's good. If you can stand firm, that's good. But the stability is in the flexibility. So say the body wavers just a little bit, goes back and forth just a little bit. You go with that. That is stable. That is strength. Flexibility is strength. It's harder to break something that's flexible. Strength. Something's firm, like a stick. Kia. I used to say kia when I was 12. Kia. Break a stick because it's firm. It's too firm. That's not what you want to do. You want to get that firmness that you find in the center of your skeleton and go with the firmness there. Firmness is flexibility. So palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale as much as you can. And then you're going to exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back. Keep the back straight. And you're just going to fall into the ragdoll. Now with the ragdoll, the arms are dangling. The head dangles. No tension anywhere. Just relax into the pose. Let your body fall where the body falls. Do not judge it. So if you're up a little higher, you don't think, man, I'm not going down far enough. Let go of that. That's not what we're doing. Just release and accept. Let go. And just focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. The palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're going to arch the back, raise the head. Inhale as much as you can. And then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. Foreheads go to the knees. You are pulling yourself in and down. Get all the air out. And again, arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. And then exhale. Pull yourself in and down. Push all the air out. Get all the air out. And again, arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. And then exhale, pull yourself in and down, get all the air out, push all the air out. And then 2 more, arch the back, raise the head, inhale. Then exhale, pull yourself in and down, push all the air out, get all the air out. Very important pose, very subtle but important. Last one, arch the back, raise the head, inhale. Then exhale, pull yourself in and down, get all the air out. Once all the air is out, you release, keep yourself pulled in and down, but you're only going to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and just accept and watch yourself breathe. Do not control the breathing, just watch it. You're already breathing automatically, so just watch it. Let go of control. The palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. The low lunge, top the foot to the floor in the back, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is going up. Front knee is not over the toes. If it is, just lengthen up some and feel open. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. Remember, you're feeling open. Focus 100% on the breathing. If you're feeling closed up because you're going down, remember, the body does not dictate whether you feel open or not. Openness is a mindset. So you feel open regardless of what the body's doing. So when you're off the yoga mat, you feel open regardless of what situation you're in. And when you feel open, you allow yourself to have new thoughts, new ways to see, hey, I need to get out of this situation. Or, hey, this situation is in closing. It's awesome. And just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. Now we're going to go to the monkey. Monkey. And then curl the toes under the back. And you go up. So the front foot, the right foot is lined up with the right shoulder. Right side is lined up with the left shoulder. Arms go up. You reach up. So the arms can stay parallel. They can go out some. You can look forward or you can look up. But whatever you're doing, get the fingers as wide as you can get them. Middle fingers are pointing straight up. And you're reaching up, thinking of nothing else but breathing. Just 100% focus on the breathing. Now the abs are engaged. This doesn't mean you hollow out the abs. You don't hollow them out. You just engage them. Belly button's going into the spine. And just focus on the breathing. And then reach up a little higher. And then down, palms to the floor. Left knee goes up. Get the leg as straight as you can. So you go in the high lunge just for a second or so. This is a transition pose. And then downward dog. The downward dog, the arms are straight, the legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor. Now you are pushing into this pose, but you're only pushing to the spot to right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Wherever you are, if you feel like you should, push a little bit more. And just focus on the breathing. No tension in the neck, so the head dangles. Then you're going to slide into the upper dog. So you drop down to the knees and the chest. It's a transition, strength transition. Then you slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Palms are to the floor. And now you modify this pose how you have to. If you need to go to hands and knees, you go to hands and knees. And you do the cow, arch the back. Or you go to the small cobra. With the small cobra, chest is off the floor, palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're not pushing up, you're pulling up. You're using the back muscles. And the back muscles are pull muscles. So pull yourself up and just focus 100% on the breathing. Or you go to upper dog and just accept where you are. Even if you're doing the upper dog textbook pose, still let go of that. Once you're settled, you let go of that. That's judgment too. It's awesome. It is awesome. But we're trying to get rid of all those barriers between the mind and the body, which prevent the mind and body from becoming one. And which one of them is judgment. So just accept. And then back to downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really, really push into it. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling. Heels are towards the floor. And you're pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle, and accept where you are. And focus 100% on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Head dangles, no tension in the neck. Push a little bit more if you can, if you feel like you should. Remember, you're your own guru. You're not listening to me. We're doing yoga together. So if I say something, you're like, man, I can't do that. That's awesome. You know why? Because you're listening to yourself. I'm not your guru. I'm not your leader. I'm not your master. I don't want to be any of those. I just want to do yoga, man. Trying to teach you. Here I am, your teacher now. I want to teach yoga where the individual becomes their own master. Stop relying on others. It's important to rely on others. Like my kids rely on me, my wife, and then I rely on my kids, actually, believe it or not, and I rely on my wife. That's all perfect. But you have to become your own master to even know the people that you rely on, if it's good or not. You can't do that if you're not your own master. So with the back foot, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward, back is arching, head is up. And you're opening up. Make sure the front knee is not over the toes. And feel open. Now into the monkey. Curl the toes under the back. Keep the knee to the floor. The left foot lines up with the left shoulder. Don't line it up with the right shoulder. Right side lines up with the right shoulder. So your shoulder width apart. Arms go up. You reach up. You can keep the arms parallel. They can go out some. You can look forward, you can look up. Whatever you do, get the fingers as wide as you can. Middle fingers point straight up. And you're focused on the breathing. So the abs are engaged. They're not hollowed out. They're just tight. They're engaged. And you breathe 100% focused on the breathing. So just like the mountain pose, if you're wobbling a little bit, you go with the wobble. You find that stability in the wobble. And you go with it. That is stability. That is strength. Flexibility, it's going to be harder to break flexibility. But if you're firm and you're wobbling a little bit, you're like, man, that's going to make you not tap into yoga. Let go of all that. Go with the flow. Reach up higher. Focus on the breathing. Now palms down to the front. Right leg is up. High lunge just for a second or so. So get the leg as straight as you can. My leg is straight as it can get. Actually, I think it is straight, but it doesn't look like it. I have a camera right there. And then standing forward bend. Palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. And you're focused on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Now, you're pulling yourself in and down, forehead's going to the knees. But once you're in and down and you're settled, you just accept. So even though you're pulling yourself in and down, in a way, you're not straining. You relax in the pose. Just watch yourself breathe. Very important pose. So palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale, turn the palms. Whoa, I almost fell. It almost fall. See, I had the flexibility. I almost fell and I was like, whoa, stable. I don't know what that was about. So where was I? Oh, inhale. Where was I? Falling. That's where you were. And then standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. You know where I almost fell? I'm going to say, pull yourself in and down and just listen. Because I started thinking about something else. I literally started thinking about something else. And I kind of lost where I was for a second. I don't even know what I was thinking about. Probably work. Maybe the paper I'm writing for school. But anyways, my mind went somewhere. And I was like, oh. Because I was moving. And as I was moving, I thought about something else. It's easy to be still and let your mind wander. But when you're moving, you let your mind wander. You got to stay present. So left leg is back. Low lunge. Top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square. Front knees not over the toes. Lengthen out if it is. And you're feeling opened. Remember, you're accepting where you are in this pose. So if you're thinking, man, I'm closed up because you're down a little bit, let go of that. That is judgment. Let go of those barriers from the mind and body. You want the barriers to leave so the mind and body can become one. It is where you are. It is what it is. I don't know what I'm saying. And just feel opened. Now you're going to go into the monkey. Curl the toes under to the back and bring yourself up. Right side is lined up with the right shoulder. Left side is lined up with the left shoulder. So your feet and your knees are shoulder width apart. Arms go up. Reach up. Arms can go out some. You can look up. You can look forward. Whatever you're doing, remember, fingers wide you can get them. Middle fingers are pointing straight up, reaching up. And just focus on the breathing. Abs are engaged. 100% focus on the breathing. Reach higher. And then palms down to the front. Left knees up into a high lunge. Transition pose so we don't stay here long. And then downward dog. The downward dog, you are pushing into the pose. But you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and just focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. When you're focused on breathing, you cannot have judgment. You cannot be in control, like, man, I'm going to do the pose this way, and that way. Nope. 100% focus on the breathing. That prevents those barriers from entering between the mind and body. So you're going to slide into the upper dog. Strength transition. So drop down to the knees and the chest, do the best you can. And feel opened. Modify the pose how you have to. You do the cow or the small cobra. Or you do the upward dog. Accept where you are. Feel opened. And then back to downward dog. Really push into it now. It's the last downward dog we're doing. So push into it. Get to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot. Settle. Accept. And focus on the breathing. Then left foot is up between the hands into a low lunge. With the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Front knees not over the toes, and you're arching. So hip bones are pushing forward diagonally. Back arches, head goes up, and your focus is on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. Letting go of judgment, letting go of control. Once you're settled in the pose, you let go of all control. It's actually, you're doing that the entire time, but, you know, we're human beings. So we think of this pose to that pose to this pose. But it's actually one movement, oneness, yoga. Everything's one. But we split it up, which is fine. So with the back foot, curl the toes under, bring yourself up. The left foot lines up with the left shoulder, right side lines up with the right shoulder. So your shoulder width apart, arms go up, reach up. Arms can be parallel, they can go out some. You can look forward, you can look up. Whatever you do, get the fingers as wide as you can get them. Reaching up, abs are engaged, not hollowing out the abs. They're just engaged, they're tight. And just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but with the breathing, reach up higher. And then palms down, high lunge, so the back leg goes straight as you can get it. Then standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Focus on the breathing, 100%. Focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. The palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Then exhale, turn the palms out, push the air down and out. And you're going to go to mountain pose. I'll do mountain pose. Remember, feet are shoulder width apart. That's just proper balance. Actually, better balance would be like this. But for the mountain pose, shoulder width apart, feet, toes go up. So you spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted. No tension in the arms or the shoulders. And you're just focused on the breathing. Again, you're lining up the bones of the skeleton. So you lengthen up, and then you let the bones sit on top of each other, as if you were just your skeleton. You're finding that spot where the skeleton just stands by itself. And remember, the stability is in the flexibility. So if your skeleton moves a little bit, wobbles back and forth, just go with it. That is stability. You don't keep the pose against the natural movement. You know, something might happen. Muscle might be like, hey, I'm tightening up over here. You go with it. Shoulder might be like, man, I'm tightening up. You go with it. Very subtle things happen. You should learn to go with it. That is where strength is, in flexibility. Strength is in going with the flow. So when you're off the mat, you're not becoming bullheaded in a sense where you're going against the natural flow of what's happening. Like the Zig Ziglar, I was going to say comment, but quote. You go with it. You make this decision. You don't make another decision and reaction. You find that space between cause and effect, and you make a real decision. You have that freedom. You don't just react. When you find that freedom, you can go a different direction or go in that same direction if it's positive. And what you're doing in the mountain pose, you're focusing on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Remember, you're already breathing automatically. So you're just watching it. You're not controlling it. And what happens many times is that you start to control it. And when you realize, hey, I'm controlling my breathing, just let go and just watch it. Let yourself breathe. Many times what happens is you'll start to think about other things. And when you realize, hey, I'm thinking about other things, I'm not focused on my breathing. Don't judge it. Just bring your focus back to your breathing. And that'll happen back and forth. And eventually, what'll happen is that you'll realize you are not your thoughts, but you are the thing that's watching your thoughts. Meaning you have control of what you think. Meaning you can get a collection of positive thoughts. You can You control it. Meaning, when you get off the yoga mat, you have a collection of positive thoughts, positive mindset. And you look through that positive mindset to what's out there in the world. And your world becomes positive. And then positive things start happening. Just the way it happens. Just the way it is. Just the law of the universe. So just watch yourself breathe. We're just going to stay here a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe. And palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Namaste. That's it. So that's number 187 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.